Well, first of all, let me say at the outset that I'm here with Chief Thompson of the Situate PD, and obviously the men and women of the Situate PD and the Massachusetts State Police are working very hard to come up with the resolution of this matter. And we certainly, our hearts and prayers go out to the Perry family for this young man who is now gone. And so we, as a result of that, for the last few days, all the state police, all the police officers involved, and as well as other personnel, have worked hard together to figure out what happened. And so what you've heard in there today is the results that we have right now. The investigation is ongoing. We're still waiting for further information regarding toxicology, other further examinations that need to be done. But at the end of the day, we had sufficient probable cause to charge this individual with arrest for homicide, for the unlawful killing of another human being with malice. Individuals that come to court, this court or any court, are always presumed to be innocent, and that's fine. We have the burden of proof. We understand that. That's why what we do on a daily basis is we go slow and steady. That's the way that you come to the correct resolution of these matters, and that's what we're trying to do. So you heard the injuries that we have from preliminary medical examiner's report this time, and those are certainly very discerning, which led to us, amongst other things, regarding that this is a homicide and not just a drug overdose.
DA, can you talk a little bit about that black belt that the ADA had mentioned? Do you think that's tied in with the actual cause of death?
Well, I mean, I think that with that amongst everything else, is still part of the ongoing investigation. Like I said, you can't hurry these things, and there's a process that we must take, and we're going to go down that process like we do in each and every one of our cases, these very serious matters. I think we owe that to the people who are charged with these cases. We owe that to the victims of these cases to make sure that we get it right. So that's what we're going to do. Slow and steady wins the race. It always does, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Another chance for your office when we talk about the message of fentanyl and cocaine. Obviously, this led down a deadly path.
Fentanyl, carfentanil, xylazine, whatever the drug may be, the emerging drugs that are out there right now are deadly elements in our community. Not just for the people that are using them, unfortunately, the people who are the users, the people that need the help the most, but we also deal with the dealers who are out there selling these drugs, knowing that it's poison, knowing that they can hurt people, knowing that they can cause initial devastation for this. So therefore, every day, the men and women across the Commonwealth, across the United States of America, are fighting this terrible drug that's out there, the opiates. And right now, because we never really are quite sure what somebody is overdosed on. When you show up at a scene, if they're overdosing on something and you hit them with Narcan and it doesn't work, that must mean they're on xylazine, which is a non-opiate. So the work factor for the police departments is incredible right now, for first responders, for fire departments, for police. This is an ongoing fight that we have to do, and I commend the men and women every day who go out there to try to keep all of us safe. That's what they did in this matter, and that's what we'll do here as we try to continue to remember the memory of this young man who's now gone far too soon.
Did the defendant have a criminal record as the prosecutor mentioned before defaults?
Yeah, 4 defaults, really not much of a criminal record, as was said in court. I can't go beyond that. But really, the criminal record is not really what's driving this. It's the facts. The facts drive the case. Apply it to the law, you come up with your information. That's what we try to do in all of our cases, and that's where we're at right now. Like I said, we'll continue to work hard to make sure that we get justice for the family and get justice for the community.
And the two met in a sober house?
Well, I'm not getting into the background as to how they know each other. These two individuals, they are acquaintances. That's what I'll say at this point. And more of that information will come out, I'm sure, as we work right now and as people come forward with information. If you have information and you don't believe that the police or anyone else is aware of it, I ask you to come forward and contact either the Massachusetts State Police and or the Situate Police.
Would you or the Chief Thompson be able to talk about connecting the dots? We had a body show up in Weymouth.
I mean, I would just say, and I'll let the chief speak for himself if he wants. I would just say that obviously it just goes to show you that the South Shore Hospital is in Weymouth, which is Norfolk County. So the body was initially brought there and was brought into that emergency room, and then through the work, figuring out where the individual was from, that brings you to Situate. Situate is Plymouth County, so that the Norfolk CPAC unit would work with the Plymouth CPAC unit, the state troopers that are all working in our various offices, and that exchange of information I think really worked well. And I think that the police officers in our community in southeastern Mass work really well together, and I think that makes a real difference. So they will cross counties to make sure they can get that information together and go forward from that. So I think that was very effective. It took a while for us to figure out where we were at, but now Plymouth County, it's a Plymouth County case. That's where the event actually occurred, and that's why we have jurisdiction of it.
Just to the facts of the case, just a long list of evidence and locations that pulled the story together, correct?
Yeah, it is. I think it's relatively complex. It's not your normal case per se, but that's what I said when you talk about the police department's professionalism of them on a daily basis, going together, making sure they can look at everything, talk to the appropriate people, go get warrants for phones, go get warrants for individuals. Make sure you talk to people who may be in the community, witnesses, canvassing areas. You got to canvass Norfolk County, Plymouth County, and other places during this. There's a lot of moving parts. And then when you can come up, when everybody sits in a room and figures it out, that's where you can go forward and make sure you can get justice to this family.
In your tenure as a prosecutor, is one of the most bizarre cases the way where it starts and where it ends outside of the ER for someone telling them that this person needs help?
Well, I mean, I think it's certainly very different. I've been DA now for 25 years. I can't say it's one of them because I just can't recall. There's been so many of them, unfortunately. But I will say that no matter what the challenges are, no matter what the obstacles are, I'm always confident in the police departments that we're working with and all the other first responders trying to get to the right thing. And I think the way that you do that, it's not a secret. It's really slow and steady. Get your information, digest it, take the next step. Do what you have to do to get the appropriate warrants and information that you need to put together and go forward. And I think that they did that in this case.
Do you have to share any work with Terry? What happened? What led up to? Was there some sort of altercation or fight you think that happened?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to speculate on that, but I would say obviously the injuries are very damaging. Yeah.
Is it believed that had an ambulance been called, outcome could have been different?
Oh, I don't know about that at this time, based upon the injuries, but I'm going to wait for the full medical examiner's report to get the full manner and means as to the cause of death. Every homicide case that occurs in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, it's between the ME, the medical examiner, and the district attorney. Working together is really what gets us to our results. Well, I won't quicken them in their work.
Can you specify if the injuries were before the Narcan was given or after?
The only thing that I'm currently aware of is that the injuries are consistent with injuries that occurred to somebody while they were alive. So the Narcan, whether or not it was before or after that, I don't believe we have that. Okay? Ready, everybody? Thank you all. Okay. Chief, did you want to say something?
No, just thank you for being here today. As District Attorney had said, our hearts go out to the family of Mr. Perry, and we appreciate the collaboration that's occurred between the State Police, the Situate Police, Weymouth Police, and the District Attorney's Office. So this is ongoing. We'll look forward to being able to bring this to a full closure for the family and giving them some resolution. Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about how Weymouth connected you and collaboration?
Yeah, I mean, as the District Attorney said, we have a close working relationship with Weymouth Police and the State Police. So as this started to unfold, we were contacted and then just worked together with them. So I think a lot of the other information will come out as the trial moves forward. Thank you.
Thank you all.